Welcome to TE Live. In today's broadcast, we will talk about 15 days entrepreneurship training online. Training starts at mid of April and application period ends 2nd of April. We will soon hear more about the training from Petteri Hynönen, the educator, and Silvia Perozzi, who participated on a similar training in autumn 2022. Remember that you can join our conversation, send your comments or questions about the training via live chat. We will answer your questions during this broadcast. Now, let's find out a bit more about labor market training in general.
Vocational labor market training is organized for sectors suffering from a lack of capable workforce. By participating in the training, you will improve your employment opportunities. Training can include distant and contact training as well as independent studies. However, a significant portion of training takes place in workplaces of the training sector. Periods of workplace-based training are also excellent opportunities for establishing connections with the sector's employers and therefore quickening employment. Training is aimed for the unemployed and those at risk of losing their job. Those at risk of losing their job include laid-off workers, part-time workers, workers with expiring fixed-term contracts, and students about to graduate. If you are unsure about filling these requirements, please contact TE offices. During the training, you might be eligible for increased unemployment benefits. In addition, you may apply for an expense allowance. The payer of unemployment benefit decides the amount of paid benefit.
Welcome to TE Live, Petteri.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Entrepreneurship training is aimed for the clients of TE services and local governmental trials. So the applicants have to be registered as a job seekers. What other requirements are there?
Well, basically not that much. So of course you have to have a functioning computer with a microphone and a camera. And other than that, you just need willingness to participate and motivation to know more about entrepreneurship in Finland.
What about what kind of knowledge should applicants have? Do they, for example, need to have a clear business idea?
Well, most of the participants have some kind of idea or several ideas about what they could do as entrepreneurs, but you don't necessarily need one. We also try to help people in finding a business idea if you're interested in starting a business but don't know or if you're not quite certain what your business idea could be. So we try to help figure out what it could be, and then we also talk about franchising, which is basically like renting a business idea from the chain. And of course, you can also buy business. We cover that as well.
So is it totally mandatory to start your own business right after the training?
Not at all. I think in the training you get knowledge about the Finnish legislation that pertains to entrepreneurship and businesses, and as well as taxation. And of course, after that, it's easier for you to decide if you want to start your own business or not. So kind of like do a informed decision.
So this training is conducted in English. Do the participants need to know any Finnish language?
No, not really. Like kiitos and hey will be enough. So all of the material will be in English, and the instructors, my colleague Mikko and I, are having these lectures or these workshop parts in English. And in Yrittäjä Ready, the learning environment, all of the material is translated to English, and there are videos that have English subtitles and voiceover as well. So it's enough that you're able to understand and speak.
How skilled do you have to be in English language to participate?
Well, basically, you don't have to be a Oxford English speaker or anything. Like it's enough if you're able to understand and read over like basic factual texts in English, and also verbally say what you have in mind. We try to be as interactive as possible in the lecture parts, in the workshop parts. So it's of course important to be able to say what you have in mind, but you don't have to be perfect English speaker. The trainers are not natives. As you notice, I'm not a native English speaker, and Mikko, my colleague, is also not a native. We're Finns, and what is wonderful about this kind of training is that you hear people and hear different kinds of accents, because people come from all over the world. So that's nice.
Yes, the training focuses on entrepreneurship skills, and it is made up webinars, video lectures, and online learning, both alone and together with others on Teams and Yrittäjä Ready. First of all, what is this Yrittäjä Ready, and what kind of value does it bring to this training?
Yes, Yrittäjä Ready is a learning platform by Cimson Koulutuspalvelut that we use in this entrepreneur training. And in the learning platform, there are all of the different parts that you need to know about starting a business in Finland. So basically, there are this all in one place. You can find it there, and there you can also build up your own business plan. So there are questions about the different topics of the entrepreneurship, and then when you fill in the blanks and write about those topics, and there you simultaneously build your own business plan, and you can download it to your computer afterwards when you and present it for the, if you're, for instance, applying for funding for your business and so on.
Petteri, tell us a little bit more about the contents. How have you built the program?
Yes. Well, as I already mentioned, there are 10 topics with all of the with different content, and everything is there. Everything you need to know about entrepreneurship in Finland. So basically, regardless of what your industry will be, what's your business idea about, you can find the relevant information from the learning platform. And as I also mentioned, it's an interactive tool as well. You can send messages using Yrittäjä Ready, and instructors can give you pieces of advice using it and comment on your business plan. There's also a discussion area in the platform where you can post your ideas, and other learners and the instructors can see them and comment on them. So it should be interactive, and it is, and we are using these interactive features actively in the training.
What about the trainers? What kind of background experience do the trainers have?
Yes, good question. Mikko and I have a long history of being small business owners ourselves, and Mikko specializes in economics, and my part is productization and marketing. And when we lecture, we try not to lecture. We try to be as interactive as possible. But when we talk about these things, we try to offer concrete examples from our own history and from like anecdotes from our history as entrepreneurs and our experience. And so not to give an academic lecture, but try to be as concrete as possible.
Thank you, Petteri. Now let's meet Silvia Berrozzi, who has participated in a similar training in last autumn.
My name is Silvia Bertozzi. I'm an Italian living in Finland for the past 26 years. My background, I majored in electronic engineer, specialized in telecommunication. And this is actually my solid background. And plus, I have been studying for change of career as business coach. But there were delays in getting kind of being received for interviews and so on. So I started considering maybe alternative way of working. And I looked at this TE platform to look for entrepreneurship. And then I found in English the entrepreneurship from Cimson Ready. When I accessed the training, I had to use this Cimson Ready platform. The type of courses offered through this platform I was familiar with because of previous teaching received for getting acquainted as business coach. So it was very easy to use. It provided videos for offline studies, personal studies. And of course, there were moments where we could be online with a group of participants, and so that we could exchange information and also practice some labs together. And as well as we had access to the two trainers, which were very knowledgeable and very experienced, and that could support us in our ideas and progress in learning. The best outcome of this training is that it is doable, first of all. That is, it is a valid solution if you look for alternative way of working. And what I take home is that the importance of having a solid business plan in order to start even thinking to go and become an entrepreneur. But it's doable and it's possible, and the course at least gives an idea of the whole process, and I'm really satisfied. Well, I would recommend this training to people looking for alternative way of working, like myself, going away a little bit from the traditional employee type of job. And looking at the participants at the course, they were also students, newly graduated, that were looking for alternative ways. And they were interested in going as a solo, as a traders. But I noticed there were also people working as employee that they were considering moving out this type of working style and maybe selecting a different one that gave them more freedom in doing their job.
So that was Silvia's experience about the training. This training has been organized a few times already. What kind of feedback have you received from the training in general?
Yes, in general, we have been thanked for like always exceeding the expectations. I don't know the expectations of the participants, but that's what they tell us. And also like especially for we have been thanked for being able to personalize the training content so that it like suits the needs of the attendees. So and that's of course heartwarming, because that's what we like to do and we want to do, to really tailor the content to really be able to help the people that are attending.
Thank you. So now let's see and what is happening in the chat. We have a few questions here. First of all, can I start a own business after this training? What do you say, Petteri?
Sure, you can, and sometimes when there are attendees that have developed their that have developed their business plan ready or further than the others, we also help the attendees to register their business during the training already. But most of the trainers, most of the attendees are in a situation where they continue developing their business plan further after the training, because the training is quite intense. It's only 3 weeks, and the attendees are allowed to use the ready learning environment for 3 months. And so they have like over 2 months left there, so they can continue developing their business plan in the they're ready.
Yes, here is one question about, is this training completely online? What do you say about this, Petteri?
Yes, this training is completely online, so we don't need face-to-face. We don't meet face-to-face at all.
Yes, thank you for the questions. Now on, if a question just popped in your head, no worries, you can still ask them in the chat. We will be answering your questions for a while after this broadcast. So, Petteri, the last question shortly, who should apply to this training and why?
Well, if you're interested in starting a small business in Finland, then you should apply. And of course, if you prefer participating the training in English, it's a good place for you. And in the training, there's everything you need for starting a business in Finland, all in one place.
Thank you very much for the interview, Petteri.
Thank you for having me.
Now all that is left is to apply. You have time until 2nd of April. The easiest way to apply is to fill out an application in e-services Oma asiointi. You will find more detailed information how to apply in the chat. We will continue in the chat for a while, but from the studio, thank you for watching TE Live.